In order to apprehend overseas offenders, security agencies usually take the assistance of Interpol, the International Criminal Police Organization. Diplomatically, the establishment of bilateral extradition treaties is another procedure. China, however, has adopted an illegitimate method to apprehend those overseas citizens they perceive as offenders. Madrid-based human rights organization, Safeguard Defenders, in its 21-page report titled 110 Overseas Chinese Transnational Policing Gone Wild, has revealed the presence of dozens of Chinese police service stations in major cities around the world. The report further exposes how the campaign was launched on a humble scale in 2018 in order to allegedly combat the growing issue of fraud and telecommunication fraud by Chinese nationals living abroad. Now, these so-called service stations are violating the international rule of law. The Chinese have set up a parallel policing mechanism to target dissidents and place surveillance on its own nationals. The report claimed that from April 2021 to July 2022, 230,000 nationals had been persuaded to return to face criminal proceedings in China.
We know before this became a news report, there are people being approached or are often being approached by individuals, either using threat or kind of way to persuade them to return home. But obviously, these people don't come across as police. They disguise themselves like a business people or diplomats, or so this safeguard report really kind of exposed these hidden police stations and the police, undercover police that actually operating in these countries.
Safeguard Defenders also revealed how overseas Chinese diaspora associations are tied to the Chinese Communist Party's United Front Work Department. Some of these organizations are registered to handle a liaison role with the Chinese police, in violation of local regulations. The details of China's overseas campaign has stunned security agencies and governments in Europe, Canada, and the United States. FBI Director Christopher Wray said the United States is deeply concerned about unauthorized Chinese police stations in cities like New York, as they violate sovereignty and circumvent standard judicial and law enforcement cooperation processes. Canada and the Netherlands are also joining the United States in launching investigations into these secret Chinese police stations. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police said it is taking threats to the security of individuals living in Canada very seriously and is aware that foreign states may seek to intimidate or harm communities or individuals within Canada.
Now focus inside is they are already controlling, yes, but outside is a little more difficult to control. Therefore, they want to focus on the dissident Chinese who live in free countries, not to speak freely. If they do so, then they will, control and their own families who live inside China.
Beijing has been accused of using illegal methods against targeted individuals or their family members, which undermines any due process and the most basic rights of suspects. Furthermore, the disregard for the use of proper channels and processes in international relations is blatant. Despite China's insistence on the establishment of bilateral extradition treaties or other mechanisms of judicial cooperation, which serve both a specific propaganda purpose in legitimizing the Chinese Communist Party-controlled judicial system, as well as nurturing a chilling effect for the rapidly growing number of individuals fleeing China, it rarely uses these legal international procedures. rather than cooperating with local authorities in the full respect of territorial sovereignty. China, thinking itself beyond reproach, has instead set up an alternative policing and judicial system within third countries. As investigations against China intensify, the world can remain hopeful that China will be held accountable for their blatant disregard of international law and human rights.